Hello. Today we're going to go over a build video. Yes. So, long story short, just some recap for those of you that have not been following the channel. This is literally like my 7th playthrough. This is my 2nd time on Nightmare solo. So, a lot of people always kind of like point out that I'm using starting gear and be like, oh, what are you doing? You're not very good. But I'm soloing Nightmare mode. Up until now, I've always used the hunter gear, hunting rifle, repeater pistol, the items that you acquire within the first half hour of gameplay. I finally am now switching it up. I wanted to try out just the sniper rifle and the hunting pistol. So the hunter gear gives you 25% damage, range damage, outside of 15 meters. While the slayer gear gives you 35% damage after a reload. So both the sniper and the hunting pistol are one-shot reload guns. So then, no matter what the range is, and no matter what I'm doing, I'm always going to get a 35% bonus to my damage. Now, there is one little caveat, and it's not a game changer, but if you fire your weapon and you reload, you'll notice that they got the buff, the green little icon in the lower right-hand corner, right? Let me switch weapons. Boom, lost it. Switch back, lost it. So, you do lose your buff if you swap weapons. Alright, what's cool about this build? You just walk around and one-shot everything. God, how far is that? You dead? Really nerfed my damage. Quick body shot. He's dead. Body shot. Dead. Don't even need headshots. Headshot. Dead. Body shot. Headshot. It's just awesome. Awesome.
Damn.
Where'd he go? Got him. Oof. Just dead. Just dead.
Whoa.
Alright, get the point across. So, you can... This is actually fairly accurate, especially if you crouch. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it does get pretty tight. So you can still use the sniper rifle even if you... Because you can walk, strafe, dodge things, zoom in. Dodge things, zoom in. You don't have to scope in to get headshots. I do it quite often. You can do it with the pistol. Use the pistol for close range, but you can also use it for long range. Sniper, obviously, for long range, but you can use it for close. Doesn't really matter. What makes it, the idea behind the build is you want to get things before they aggro onto you. You're going to use Heartseeker, which provides a guaranteed crit against non-aggressive enemies and increases crit damage by 15%. So, if you're going for headshots, long range, you're going to crit on a headshot, which is a weak point on most enemies. And you're running Hunter's Band, so as long as you're 15 meters out, I mean, God, if you're greater than 15, you're not aggroing anything unless you've pissed everything off by missing shots. But outside of 15, where the enemies haven't aggroed onto you yet, Hunter's Band, Heartseeker, you're doing 25% extra headshot damage, plus it's going to be a crit, plus the crit damage is going to be increased by 15%. It's dirty. I run Gunslinger's Charm for fire rate, which is irrelevant, but the reload speed 20%. You could run whatever you like instead. Obviously, the Hunter's Band and the Heartseeker both are pretty much irrelevant in most boss fights. So in that scenario, I will switch out to usually Braided Thorns, especially if there's going to be ads. Because my Swarm mod and other mods, and then even my headshots when I'm on the run, will proc the 15% crit chance for 6 seconds after slaying an enemy. Devouring Loop, it's kind of irrelevant. It's nice to get your screenshot number, but it's not, in my opinion, not a game changer. Even when it was being exploited with a bug in the game, wasn't really a fan of it. Another good ring to run, especially in the boss fight scenario, is just Stone of Balance, just a flat 10%. Everything you do is going to be 10% better. Again, if there's ads, then Jewel of the Black Sun is also pretty good, because you don't have to have weak point kills, you can just kill stuff, and then you get a range damage buff up to 20%. For 10 seconds after killing 4 enemies. So as long as you keep killing enemies, it resets the 10-second timer, and you add 5% up to 20% for stacks. So you can kind of mix match whatever kind of damage buff rings that you want, or defensive rings if you're not so good at dodging for boss fights. But for out in the open dungeons and worlds, the Heartseeker and Hunter's Band, I highly recommend. Now, most of the time, you're going to be one-shotting things regardless if you're hitting them in the head, so you don't necessarily need the Hunter's Band, but if you want it just to be safe, it's good. But yeah, this is what I run. I run Hunter's Band and Heartseeker, and then usually Braided Thorns and Stone of Balance for boss fights. Oh, let's go over traits really quick. So obviously, the more and more I play, the more and more traits I get, and people will be like, well, I'm not that far into the game. Well, there's a lot of stuff you don't necessarily need. So for instance, my normal playthrough, my hard playthrough, and for most of the first half of my first Nightmare playthrough, I didn't have really any defensive traits. But after I was getting one, well, you kind of still get one shot by everything on Nightmare anyways. But so really to make the damage, the build work, you want all the damage perks, and it's kind of explanatory. You just go down and pick all your damage ones. You want weak spot damage. You do want weapon reload speed. Gun spread and recoil really isn't relevant. You do want crit hit chance. You want crit damage. Where was crit damage? I know it's there's range damage bonus, Mind's Eye, so you have to beat the game at least once to get that trait. Crit damage, Kingslayer. You got to kill Undying King to get Kingslayer. There's crit damage. Yeah, you absolutely need crit damage for this, so you have to go kill the Undying King. So on that same note, it's kind of funny. A lot of people that start the game are trying to make these crazy builds. I'm like, you got to play the game. Just like in every game, you have to play the game to get gear to then make the builds. You can't just go out hunting for the same items so you can be set for life. Because yeah, some of these you have to beat the game to get one of them. You have to beat the Undying King, which a lot of people won't do right off the bat. That's really it. You want crit damage, crit chance for when you've obviously you want crit chance always, because once you aggro the mobs, then or the ads or the NPCs, then your Heartseeker is no longer active, so you're no longer guaranteed the crit. So crit chance is always a bonus. 20% is nice. Then if you're running the Braided Thorns, then you're at 35%. Your weapons, I think most of the weapons are pretty much 5. I haven't gone through and looked at all of them, so I think some might be 20% crit chance. I don't have it memorized. Yeah, so just a handful of the damage perks, and then the rest of the perks that you select are pretty much up to you. I would suggest once you get damage, going for survivability, just cause. So if you can take those extra one hit on Nightmare, or actually on hard mode, you can take quite a bit of hits when you start putting the defensive stuff in. I personally don't care about stamina. I only have stamina perks now slotted because I'm just getting too many trait points. But I ran normal, hard, and Nightmare without having a single stamina perk. So I don't think stamina is something that is required as long as you're not sprinting around like a madman. Most of the time you're sprinting anyways, you're going to die because you're burning your stamina, then you can't dodge. The game is designed to dodge, and you can strafe and walk and dodge most of the attacks as long as you're not ADSing. So you can strafe dodge shoot. You don't need to, and also you don't need to dive roll like a Cirque du Soleil. That's crazy. Anyways, range damage, all the stuff. Crit is what you need. You should be able to make this build with after one playthrough. You can get the sniper rifle on Earth, the hunting rifle on Earth. You will have to get the Slayer. I have videos on all of these. Links will be in the description below. But the Slayer gear is from Corsus. And you will have to turn the heart that you get into the Queen on Corsus instead of the Undying King. You're also going to want to go back and fight the Undying King anyways and not give him the heart so you can get Kingslayer. Okay? You got to beat the game to get Mind's Eye. So you'll be able to make this game or make this build minimum one playthrough. One playthrough if you follow those steps. Again, if you've got questions on how to get all the gear and items, I have videos. Description will be in the link below. Yeah, fun build. I mean, simple. Sniper, one shot. It's pretty cool. I like it. I'm having a blast with it. There's a ton more weapons that I want to start playing with also. So maybe I'll make some more videos like this. We'll see. Anyways. I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/SlyGumbi between the late night hours of 8 p.m. till about 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. By the way, it's an adult-only channel. We're not naked or anything, but it's not... If you're 7 and you have me on your TV, your mom's going to be upset. Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless your mom's hot. Then slide into the DMs. Follow me on Twitch. Twitter. News, updates, goofy stuff. I've got a bunch of dad jokes that I'm throwing out right now. I don't know why. Just because I'm bored. It's kind of funny. It literally is kind of funny. If you like cringe and you want to throw up, check it out. Check it out at SlyGumbi. And then I got a website, slygumbi.com, and we got a Discord channel. Link will be in the description below as well. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.